I don't know why, but my camera cut off. But I was saying that I um, would like people when they walk away with an encounter with me that they value the smile and the time that I took to greet them, and that inner reaction has value to them. It has value to me. You're going to meet a lot of people where they don't have any value. They don't care, and they're mean and they're angry, and you see these people, on a continual basis. And in the businesses that I've been in, and for instance, I worked at Smoothie King for over 3.5 years. I encountered many, many different cultures of people, many different kind of people. And of course, when you're in a face-to-face customer service, you are greeting. And I always used, my rule is you use that person's name at least 3 times and pay them one honest compliment, and then invite them back and tell them that you appreciate them. And I will say that people place value in my sincere customer service, that I'm dedicated. I value giving the best customer service that I can give. And so, again, placing value where you place it and all of that is, it's up to you. Um, and when you're younger, I know, like you say, a lot of people place value on what the world holds up to you and says, this is value, this is what you need to be, this is where you need to go. And sometimes choosing, a different path, such as being a spiritual person or being a person who, you're a healthy person, or being a person who doesn't want to go to bars, doesn't want to hang out and do those things. I have, but I don't now. I place no value on that because I find that those places are full of people who are, it's what I call a tragedy zone. A lot of people there are very hurt, and and I was a hurt person when I went there, and they're self-medicating. They're using alcohol to cover up things, and that is allowing the darkness to come in and steal your light. And we don't even know what's going on. I didn't know it was going on. But um, I place value in my ability to see past engaging in behavior like that. And and also I place value in my ability to recover, to heal myself, to forgive myself, all of those super valuable things. And it's just, you know, it, life is as valuable as you make it, and the value comes from where you place it. So I hope that you sit down and you make a list of things that are valuable to you. And your list will change if you're younger. Your list will change as you mature and you get older. And maybe you get off the grind cycle. I know mindset changes. I totally understand that. Totally get it. You got kids, you got family, you got all this stuff going on. Um, but examine maybe the truth in your values. And am I being sold a bag of goods or values that the world says that I need to meet, or things that I need to do to be valuable? Good question, right? And but learning to be valuable for what you can give the world, what you can give the world. That's a real lesson there. What can you do to add something to the world, to make somebody smile, to just make a better life for yourself as you mature and you get older. And that's a lot of what my talks are on, because I find that at my age that yes, my values have changed so much, and that I wished I had found the values that I'm sorry, my coffee's still haunting me. But I wish that I had had the values when I was younger that I do now. But I know that comes with maturity. Sometimes us hard learners, you got to put your hand on the stove twice to figure out it really is hot. But sometimes it takes us a little longer to structure our values, and what our personal values are, like our boundaries, and all the other things that you actually sit down and you intensely look at, and place value in those moments when you're sitting down and you're thinking about yourself, that you and also place value in the fact that you can change your life. You can change your life. I've changed mine. I used to be a completely different person, and I'm not that person anymore. Not that I was a bad person, don't get me wrong, but I was a person who, what everybody else thought of me, and what the world said, oh, you have to be this and you have to be that to be a valuable person, was thrust in front of my face. But as you mature, I hate using the word age, but as you mature and you reach a certain age, um, the world will value you in a different way, because as you get older, the world places less value on you. I know this is sad, but this is very true. Um, you're no longer the hot chick walking in the room. You're an elegant older woman or a mature woman, and I still have my looks, but I take care of myself. I place value on that. But the world tries to devalue you according to your age. And that's such a wrong thing, because to me, I think your value increases as you get older, just as your wisdom and your knowledge increases. But the world will eventually, once you get older, they discard you when you no longer fit that mold that the world says. And that's where creating a good headspace on what it's like to mature and what it's like to age gracefully, how to not let that consume you, because it can make you bitter, and it can make you angry, and it can make you feel like, I used to be a relevant person, now I'm not. What happened? The world says I'm not valuable anymore. But again, look out, because that's when you decide that you will continue to place value on yourself. You can still build value in your life. It may not be the same as it was when we were youthful, but there's still value. Just like what I'm trying to do with Porch Talk is I'm trying to share my honest, heartfelt experiences in life, and share my knowledge and share my wisdom through the years of maturity that I've accumulated through I've had a very tumultuous life, and how I came out on the other side, and I'm so fortunate that I have. And my mother, God rest her soul, is a person who, she let the world dictate her value. And I saw my mother, beautiful, gorgeous woman, decline mentally, decline physically. She was always very fit. She let herself go. She became very bitter and angry. And I saw this person who was so full of life. Sorry, I'm being emotional. I saw her spirit drain right out of her, because she lived by the values and the standards of other people, and because she had not developed her own value. So what I'm sharing is very important, and it will have everything to do with your happiness and your being anchored as you mature through your years. And You'll see people like my mom who just think it's all over with, that the world says, stamps you, you're done, you're out of here. She was an artist, she was a musician, she was a writer, she was a gorgeous woman in tip top shape who just, I could see her grasp, just letting go of life as she got older. Her spirit, that shiny part of people that define God's love in our soul. And I saw that drain right out of her. And it was very sad for me. It's still sad for me to think of now. And I pray that that won't happen to people and it can be prevented. So I'm a big baby. I'm sorry. I'm very touched by life. And I share tender moments in these talks because this is the real deal. This is me and you. It's just like if you were sitting on the other side of my table, just like I'm talking to you. I want to share those things with you, not to unburden myself, but to share that there's always a better way and a better path for us to choose and a better way for us to go, and not to follow the way of the world, not to wait for the world to stamp you valuable or not valuable. And being of value doesn't necessarily mean how much money you have or how much material possessions you have. Yes, the world, if you have a lot of those things, will probably continue to let you ride the value wave. But you know what? Eventually, those things run out too. And then you're stuck in the same situation that, people who want to gracefully age are. You have to restructure your values. So I hope this has been helpful to somebody. If I can help one person, I'm excited. But I just wanted to share these thoughts with you, and I wish you a beautiful day. And thank you for joining me in Porch Talk. All right, thanks. Have a great day.